Have you ever felt like you were dancing to someone else's tune, trying to earn their approval, only to realize the music stopped a long time ago? It's a disorienting moment when you realize that the smiles, nods, and gestures around you aren't as genuine as they seemed. You think you're in sync with those around you, only to discover that the rhythm is completely off. It's a tough truth to face, and it can leave you questioning the true intentions behind those outward expressions. But here's the thing. The ability to read between the lines is a crucial skill for building authentic relationships and maintaining your peace. Understanding the subtle signs that someone might not genuinely like you, despite their friendly exterior, isn't just about avoiding fake friendships. It's about empowering yourself to nurture real connections that align with your values. And when viewed through the lens of Stoicism, this knowledge becomes a tool to foster inner tranquility, so you can focus on what truly matters. Let's dive into the art of discerning what's beneath the surface. This isn't about finding faults, it's about cultivating wisdom and understanding. When you can identify the hidden signs of insincerity, you can navigate relationships with clarity and confidence, ensuring you surround yourself with people who truly respect and support you. Sign 1. Constant criticism disguised as jokes. It often starts off innocently enough, just a little jab here, a playful nudge there, all wrapped up in humor. You might hear, "Oh, I'm just teasing," or "Can't you take a joke?" It feels harmless at first, even friendly, but there's often an underlying irritation or judgment that's masked by laughter. Stoicism teaches us to approach life directly, valuing honesty and clarity. So when someone continuously points out your flaws, even if it's done with a smile, it's essential to see it for what it truly is, a subtle form of disrespect. Why does this matter? Because constantly accepting these little digs can erode your sense of self-worth over time. Each joke chips away at your confidence and respect. Recognizing this pattern is the first step in reclaiming your dignity. Stoicism empowers us to preserve our inner peace by setting clear boundaries and addressing these moments with honesty. When someone crosses the line, it's not about overreacting, it's about standing firm and maintaining the respect you deserve. The next time you're the punchline of a joke, pause and ask yourself, does this joke respect me, or does it diminish me? If it's the latter, it's time for a direct conversation about boundaries and mutual respect. Sign 2. Backhanded compliments. These are the type of compliments that feel more like a disguised insult. They seem flattering at first, like, "Wow, you actually pulled that off," or "I didn't expect you to manage it, good for you." On the surface, it sounds like praise, but there's a sting that leaves you feeling off balance. Stoic philosophy emphasizes sincerity and clarity in our relationships, and when faced with a backhanded compliment, it's important to recognize that it often reflects more about the person giving it than it does about you. These comments reveal insecurities, judgments, or hidden contempt, and when we accept them without questioning, we risk endorsing their skewed perceptions of us. Stoicism encourages us to uphold virtue and integrity in our relationships, meaning we should cultivate an environment of honesty and respect. The next time you receive a backhanded compliment, try to reflect on the motivation behind it. You don't have to confront the person immediately, but you can gently ask, "What do you mean by that?" This opens up space for a more authentic conversation and reinforces your commitment to clarity and respect in all interactions. Sign 3. Social exclusion. Have you ever felt that gut punch when you realize you weren't invited to a gathering that everyone else seems to be talking about? It's that sinking feeling when you find yourself left out, despite thinking you were part of the group. This type of exclusion can be a sign that someone isn't as invested in the relationship as they might seem. Stoicism teaches us that true peace comes from within, not from external validation. When you're excluded or left out, it's crucial not to internalize it or let it affect your sense of worth. Instead, recognize that you can't control others' actions, but you can control your response. Social exclusion is often a reflection of the other person's values or priorities, not a measure of your own value. The Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control, your responses, your attitudes, and your decisions, helps maintain your peace even in the face of rejection or isolation. The key is not to let external circumstances shake your sense of self or alter your course. True friendships are based on respect and shared values, not popularity or inclusion in every social circle. Recognizing these subtle signs isn't about becoming cynical or distrustful. It's about understanding that not all gestures are as they appear on the surface. Stoicism encourages us to be aware of these dynamics, so we can navigate relationships with greater wisdom and clarity. By focusing on what is truly important, authenticity, respect, and inner peace, you can cultivate the relationships that will enrich your life, while gracefully distancing yourself from those that don't align with your values. As we continue on this journey toward deeper wisdom and self-awareness, remember, it's not about spotting fake friends, but about creating a life filled with genuine connections that honor your true self. Stay grounded, trust in your discernment, and know that the path to genuine relationships begins with clarity and self-respect. When it feels like your friends constantly forget to include you in plans, it's not just about missing out on fun. It's about feeling invisible, like you're an afterthought in your social circles. The casual remarks like, "Oh, we thought you were too busy," or "We must have forgotten to send the invite," might be said with a laugh, but they carry an underlying message that can make you feel unimportant. While these comments may be meant to be lighthearted, they can leave a deeper sting. From a Stoic perspective, the core lesson here is that it's not the actions of others that truly affect us, but our response to them. Social exclusion, whether intentional or not, gives us an opportunity to practice introspection. The Stoics remind us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and reactions. So instead of letting the feeling of exclusion spiral into resentment, we can pause and ask ourselves, are we truly being excluded, or are we interpreting an unintentional oversight as a personal slight? If the exclusion is intentional, it may be time to evaluate the health of those relationships. Stoicism encourages us to deal with situations directly but thoughtfully. For example, instead of assuming the worst, approach the situation with clarity and openness. I noticed I wasn't included in the gathering last week, and I felt a little left out. Can we talk about what happened? This kind of honest dialogue can shed light on whether it was a genuine mistake or if there are deeper issues within the group dynamic. By confronting social exclusion head-on, you not only protect your peace, but also uphold your boundaries and self-respect. Stoicism teaches us that our relationships should be built on transparency, respect, and mutual understanding. It's not about forcing inclusion, but about fostering connections where your presence is genuinely valued and where the interaction is reciprocal. Similarly, when faced with friends who are always too busy, but seem to find time for others, it can create a confusing and frustrating situation. Their casual "sorry, I'm swamped" might feel dismissive, leaving you wondering whether it's a genuine constraint or just an easy excuse. In this case, Stoicism urges us not to take it personally, but to focus on what's within our control, our own actions and thoughts. Instead of letting this constant unavailability affect your peace of mind, it's important to approach the situation with grace and directness. I've noticed it's been hard to find time together. Can we plan something that works with your schedule? This opens the door for a constructive conversation that can help clarify whether the issue is truly about time or about the value they place on the relationship. Stoicism also teaches the importance of maintaining a sense of humor while respecting your own needs. Lightly acknowledging the situation with a joke, like "Should I book a slot 2 months in advance?" can help keep the tone light while still expressing your desire to spend time together. This balance of respect for their time and asserting your place in their life is key to ensuring your relationships remain meaningful and reciprocal. Finally, when it comes to physical distance, whether it's someone avoiding even a handshake or a casual pat on the back, it can be easy to overlook but still impactful. These small gestures, or the lack thereof, can signal discomfort or detachment. While they might joke about being just not a hugger, or making light comments about catching something, these remarks can sometimes mask a deeper reluctance to get close or show intimacy. In Stoicism, we're reminded to focus on what we can control, our own perceptions and reactions. While we should respect others' personal boundaries, it's also important to seek clarity in our interactions. If you notice someone maintaining physical distance, it's worth considering the context. Is this how they interact with everyone, or is it specific to you? If it feels important, addressing it directly can help. You might say, "I've noticed you're not much for handshakes, just your style, or is there something I should be aware of?" This approach keeps the conversation open, light, and non-confrontational, while also showing respect for their space and your own curiosity to understand their boundaries. Ultimately, physical distance doesn't have to lead to emotional distance. By approaching these situations with stoic mindfulness, focusing on what you can control, seeking clarity, and maintaining your integrity, You can navigate these challenges in a way that strengthens your relationships, your sense of self, and your inner peace. Bridging understanding and cultivating resilience in relationships. When we openly discuss our feelings and concerns, we create an opportunity to bridge misunderstandings and foster more meaningful connections. Stoicism encourages us to detach from fleeting feelings of rejection and instead focus on proactive communication and personal growth. Each interaction offers us a chance to learn not only about others, but also about ourselves, strengthening our relationships in ways that honor both boundaries and personal preferences. It's easy for friends to show up during your triumphs, during the happy moments when everything seems to be going well. However, the true test comes when things get difficult. It's one thing for them to celebrate your wins, but when the going gets tough, do they stand by you, or do they disappear? Excuses disguised as humor, like "I'd love to help, but I always seem to make things worse, don't I?" Or "Guess I picked a bad time to go on vacation, huh?" may seem lighthearted, but they often mask a deeper truth. When you needed support the most, they weren't there. Stoicism teaches us the importance of depending primarily on ourselves, cultivating an inner resilience that can withstand life's fluctuating challenges. Yet, this philosophy also acknowledges that humans are inherently social beings. We thrive in community, and support from others is a crucial part of our well-being. When friends make light of their absence during tough times, it's an opportunity to reflect on the true nature of these relationships. Are they fair-weather friends who disappear when things get difficult, only to resurface when it's convenient? This realization isn't about casting blame. It's about understanding who you can truly rely on. You can address this gently by expressing your feelings without accusation. "I noticed I haven't seen much of you when things were rough. It's been a tough time, and I could really use your support." This opens the door for a productive conversation, giving the other person a chance to explain and perhaps adjust their behavior. Stoicism doesn't encourage passive acceptance. It urges us to act thoughtfully and according to our values. If loyalty and support are important to you, it's perfectly reasonable to seek relationships that reflect these qualities. In doing so, you honor both your needs and the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, forming and maintaining relationships that truly nurture us. There's perhaps nothing more hurtful than discovering that someone you trust has been gossiping about you behind your back. It might be brushed off as no big deal with phrases like, "I was just telling them about your little mishap, hope you don't mind," or "We were just laughing about that crazy thing you did." But make no mistake, if it's about you, it's a big deal. Gossip, even when wrapped in humor, can damage reputations, erode trust, and leave emotional scars. Stoicism teaches us the value of virtue and integrity, encouraging us to approach situations like these with grace and perspective. While it's easy to react impulsively to such behavior, Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control, our own actions and our responses. You can't control what others say about you, but you can control how you respond. If you find out you've been gossiped about, addressing it directly with the person involved is essential. This doesn't have to be confrontational. It can be as simple as saying, "I heard that you shared something about me that wasn't meant to be public. Can we talk about what happened?" This approach reflects the Stoic principles of honesty and direct communication. Encountering gossip can also be an opportunity for personal growth. It challenges your resilience and offers a chance to practice forgiveness, understanding, and empathy, core aspects of Stoic ethics. Everyone makes mistakes, and sometimes people speak thoughtlessly. The goal isn't just to correct misinformation or stop gossip, but to foster a culture of transparency and respect in your relationships. In Stoic philosophy, looking beyond surface actions is key. Understanding why people gossip often reveals deeper motives, such as insecurity, jealousy, or a desire for social leverage. Recognizing these underlying causes allows us to respond with empathy, addressing the root of the issue rather than just its symptoms. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic practice of understanding the ethical and emotional underpinnings of actions. Ultimately, dealing with gossip isn't just about protecting your reputation. It's about cultivating a life where sincerity and integrity are central. It's about leading by example, creating an environment where honesty, respect, and trust thrive. Whether it's navigating the complexities of friendships or confronting the challenges of gossip, Stoicism encourages us to act with purpose. Every interaction, every challenge, is an opportunity for growth, both personal and relational. By remaining grounded in our values and focusing on what we can control, we can build relationships that are not only enjoyable, but deeply supportive. In the end, Stoic wisdom teaches us that our relationships should reflect who we truly are, and it's in these authentic connections that we find true peace and fulfillment. Thank you for joining me today in this exploration of Stoic wisdom and its application to everyday interactions. If you found this discussion valuable, I encourage you to continue the journey of self-discovery and authentic connection. Live with integrity, respond with grace, and always strive to build relationships that honor your true self.